Okay, so let's go. We got Travis here on the channel. Start out with some hand fighting. Travis is very strong, so he pulls me a little bit. One of the things I'm trying to do in all these roles is to not use any of my own energy and use the other person's energy or gravity to generate all the movement. So we'll go back to that beginning bit there. So as Travis kind of pulls me there with an arm drag, you can see I kind of rode the energy there. When Travis grabs you, you know it. He's very strong. His grips are and he knows what he's doing, so it's not just a new person grabbing you. This is a person who knows what they're doing. A little technical get up there. I had to use a little energy of my own because I didn't have a connection to him. If you'll notice, my hand isn't touching him whenever I come up. Yeah, so I had to use my own energy. A little more hand fighting, just kind of moving towards him with inside position, feeling what he's doing. It's almost like I'm trying to dance with him on a dance floor rather than I'm not trying to resist anything he's doing. I'm feeling what he's doing and going with whatever he's trying to do. So I've got the collar tie, which allows me to pull guard. So one of the things, especially with a bigger person or a stronger person than you, I try to remember is to keep their base from being able to come towards me, which is going to help me save a lot of energy. And if they get their base can't come towards you, they necessarily have to break their own posture into something like this, where it's sort of like a smash, body lock pass or whatever. But I have my butterfly hooks in, which again is preventing his base from coming towards me. I'm keeping my hooks sticky. If he tries to come up, I'm coming up too. I'm using the connection to come up, so I have a attachment behind his elbows with both my hands, and my butterfly hooks are in. So I can tension my own body to kind of drain Travis's energy. So if he tries to come up, I can use him coming up to bring me up, but I can also resist him coming towards me. And so let's go back there, see what happened. So he comes up, and I get a little bit more of his left arm, and then I come up with him, and as he's coming up, now I'm kind of pushing a little bit his left shoulder back, and so it's going to be really difficult for him to come back down towards me. And now my knees are up, and I then switch my left hand, push his left shoulder, and that push frees my hip to do the get up there, right there like that. And now I'm up, and that push also kind of pushed him over. So now I have a grip on the back of his head. I'm cross-tensioning, so I'm never trying to come over the top to try to beat someone's legs. I'm going to try and come around to the side. And but also stay on top of their legs' ability to come up. So Travis does a nice job of coming around, but I immediately grab the back. I put my tricep on the back of his head, like this, where his spine meets his neck, and I get a little bit of a grip underneath his armpit on the far side. And so now you'll see my left foot is attached to his right thigh, and it's stuck there. So now I have a butterfly hook in there, and the other hook kind of just drifts closer to where it needs to be, and now we see that we're getting out of frame, so we recenter. And so right here what happened was Travis grabbed a collar tie, and I'm again keeping his base away from me with my legs, and now my left leg is already kind of to his side between his leg and arm, and he's grabbing this collar tie here. So his left arm is grabbing my right hand, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to switch that. Now I'm grabbing that, and now my left leg is underneath his right arm, which is a pretty great position to start working up to the triangle, and my right knee is about to carve up to his shoulder. And now he's doing a good job for a while of keeping his arm in, so I don't have, if you really want to Farmon has gotten me a couple of times with it, but my arm is still in triangle, and that's possible, but I'd like to, for in this case, to be a little cleaner. So I'm waiting for his arm to come out, and also waiting to be able to grab underneath his left leg, just like that. So he feels that. He comes up, and he's putting pressure into me now. My right hand's on the back of his left elbow. And just kind of seeing if I can dig that out, use my weight to dig that out, and this is where it's basically over, because now his left arm is not blocking the triangle at all, and my neck, my back of my thigh is against his trap. So once I get my right hand underneath his left leg, that's going to be it. So just get that, and there's and we got a tap. And I think we have to take a second to get a little bit of the wah-wahs happening. Yeah, sometimes you. I think Travis said as we came up, he was like, I should have tapped a little earlier to that. I got the spots. So we're going back into it. So now as I'm passing here again, I'm trying to keep I'll use the mouse here. I'm trying to keep my my weight on top of this plane of his the top thigh. And I'm trying to stay on the outside of where he's laying. So let's go. Here we go. And so you can see one of the things that I try to think about with especially people who are very powerful is that their legs, I want to keep them either fully extended, or I want my weight to be on top of them and have them fully like in. So once I get close, I need my weight to be on top of. See how my hand is on top of his left kind of ankle? That's keeping my weight on top of where it needs to be. And I'm also, again, keeping my I've said this in past videos, keeping my knees pointed in the direction where he can sweep me, so that I can generate base in the correct direction. So you can see I'm just kind of, my one leg is back, but my knees are pointed in the direction where he would be able to sweep me, but so he can't. And again, I'm staying on top of that right here. My weight is still on top of this leg with this hand, and my knee is pointed. My feet and knees are pointed in that direction. Because if you'll notice, so what's happening here is he does have his leg behind my legs, and so what's happening here is there's a connection here. I'm using this connection to keep him from being able to swing me back that direction. Step my leg out. And again, you see how I switched. So because he switched his hips, I went from being on, this was the top side, and then he's going to switch and it'll be the other side as we kind of have this little exchange here. And now we're on the other side. I'm trying to keep, you'll notice right here, I like this grip because I said in a previous video, if I have this ankle, this is the end of the lever. So if this leg tries to kick out, I can translate that motion away from me with my hand pointed this way because I'm connected. I'm not trying to stop it, I'm just trying to redirect it in that direction. And so now I feel that, like, at some point he might be able to flip me over. So I'm kind of toying with ideas of what to. So sometimes you throw some stuff up just to make someone think about some stuff. And Travis knows what he's doing, so he feels that there is, if he doesn't respond, I could do some stuff at the back of his neck, and which gives me the opportunity to kind of come underneath. And so he gets this mount here. But so what's going to happen is. So his knees, anyway, if someone has you in mount, their knees can't come past the mat because they can't go through the mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get my right leg, I'm turning into the mat, almost giving him my back, but my right leg is now coming past where his knee can come out, and then I'm going to turn back the other direction and just kind of spatula it out that way to free my right leg. So just check that out. There's my right leg free, and we turn back the other direction. And so now it's going to be a game of sort of building like frames one at a time. So once I get one frame in, I can use that to do a little hip escape to give myself a little more space, and get my butterfly guard back. And there we go. So it's good to see that one more time. Build some frames here. So my leg is out. I turn back in. Now my right hand is in, and my left elbow is in. I can do a little hip escape here, right there. And now I'm able to bring my knee back up, and now rather than my elbow being on his right hip, my left hand is on the right hip, and I can do a little bit more of a. There we go. My right arm is in, and now my left knee is up, and we have a better position. And now you'll notice that I can keep my legs from between us, so that Travis's base cannot come towards me as easily. And if he does come towards me, then I get a collar tie and I pull him towards me. So that was an interesting little exchange. I was starting to get some collar ties. There's one, and then two, and then so he gets both hands, and so I feel him going for that, and so I immediately get my left arm across to his left and do a cross block across his left shoulder, and then shrug my shoulders so that it shucks. It wouldn't have worked if he hadn't been gripping me as hard, but he's gripping me he goes for the grip really aggressively, and so that kind of snaps his own arms off of my head. Like that. Clear away some tape there. So as again, so when I'm in my guard, whatever the other person's doing, I'm trying to go with that. So he's coming towards me, I come towards him. So he goes up, I come towards him. He goes up, I come towards him. He's pulling me. So now, what I did there is you'll notice these different changes of direction. So from here, he moved towards me. I have my right hand posted, and so his pushing on my legs is actually allowing me that post to make my legs move back a little bit. Now we've got this frame / collar tie going on, and my knee is up. So if he tries to grab me, my knee is bracing his base away from me. So I can just lean on my knee, and then he's not going to be able to hold on. Or I can post as I'm posting my right hand on the mat here, I can come towards him and push his head away from me and come up. But so what's going to happen is he's going to grab this. It's a kind of similar grip, but I have my knee in, so it's going to be difficult to keep that. And I almost get the sweep, because if you'll notice, my right hand dropped to his left knee, but he did a good job of adjusting to that and not trying. If he would have held on to that, that would have been a sweep. So one more time. And right here, there's my right hand on his left knee. And I could have elevated with my left leg to get that sweep, but he smartly disengages and regains space. Nice, very nice. Shout out to Travis for being on the channel, by the way. Just kind of keeping connections. This is one of those, I'm going to call it like a treadmill moment, where wherever the other person's touching me, I just want to kind of shear off their connection. So right here. And just allowing, just like that. It's a good way to kind of keep the other person busy for a second while you figure out what you're going to do. That was a nice little sequence. So here's what happens here. Let's take a look. So this collar tie is what's going to help me stand up from here. So because I'm pulling his head down, he's going to resist that, and that resistance is what I'm going to grab onto. It's as if that's the wall, and I'm pushing off the wall to stand up here. So just like that. The other person's going to address that. They're not just going to let their head get driven to the mat. So now I'm up, and so now Travis grabs my arm. There's a connection there. I grab his arm, and then so that causes him to grab my arm and to pull me towards him. And I go with it here, and he does a great little roll here. Now what one of the things I could have done was use my right hand to grab his right hip to stop him from rolling all the way over here. But something actually else interesting happens is, see what happens is he has a sweep position here. His leg is behind both of my legs, but I'm connected right here, which means that he can't really sweep me in it. There we go, right there. He almost had the sweep, but the connection really saved me from being knocked over. I'm just staying on top of that leg and getting around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. And there we go. So here's this pass. You'll notice, so I'm on top of his thigh, on the top thigh. Now my left arm is inside of the plane of the top of his thighs, which I want. So I want to be on the outside and top of his thighs, and the only thing that's is in between us now is this knee is on my hip a little bit. So I'm going to free that. Somehow this leg comes free, and then I'm already past this leg, and I can just grab on a little bit here. To stabilize myself. So it was kind of like earlier whenever I had the connection saved me from being knocked over. This is also going to save me from being kind of unbalanced here when I do this. There we go. There was that little switchy movement, and now we're just past. So one of the things I'm thinking about here is the end of the levers of the arms. I'm not trying to put my weight into his elbows because that's strong. What I want to do is I want to weight as far towards the end of the lever as possible and bend them in the direction that they do go. So if he wants to maintain that, he's going to have to use muscle rather than the frame, like that. And he does a good job of changing grips here. And it is difficult to hold down someone who's very strong. So what I'm thinking here is I'm going to kind of try to sneak this arm in here and see if he'll give me a choke. I know he's working towards trying to roll me over. So once that happens, I'm just kind of thinking about. I don't try this choke a lot, so I'm just kind of waiting for that opportunity to present itself. And I probably should have not shown as much as I did because I think he was ready for it. So yeah, I kind of like start cinching in, but it's more of like a threat than it is a real danger. And so yeah, right here, Travis comes around. I keep my elbows in, and just keep kind of wiggling back and forth until I can. So here's an interesting kind of body position mechanic thing. So my left arm is kind of jacked up here, but my palm is turned, my thumb down and up into Travis's chest. So it's actually freeing my shoulder, which it allows me to just remain safe there. And so this is really interesting. It looks like Travis can't get my hand off the ground. So what's happening here is that I'm connecting with the mat with my legs and hips. So my body's twisted a little bit, and the twist is sending the energy down towards my arm here. So it's going to be all my weight is basically driving right here rather than somewhere up here. And so you'll see it's very difficult, especially if my feet are planted on the mat like this. Now I can drive all my weight down into my shoulders and my elbow and just feel where he is and just keep my hands and my elbow and my shoulder safe. So you'll notice that my hand is not like super flexed or anything. It's actually kind of loose because my weight is being driven in by the rest of my body. I'm not using a lot of energy here. You see I'm like totally relaxed. I'm not straining or anything. I'm just keeping this arm safe with my weight. And I think it's about to be the end of the round. And we got a Lucky coming in here to try to get this case out of the way for us. Shout out to Lucky. Appreciate the help. and you see my, yeah, there he is. So yeah, I'll just go real fast, driving my weight into my head, my shoulders and elbow. That's what's keeping Travis from being able to finish this submission. So yeah, that's the end of the round. Shout out to Travis for being on the channel, and to Lucky. Shout out to everybody. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to come down and